Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another interview day. I am so excited about today. I'm excited about every single day, but today I'm really excited as well. We've got kylerichards from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's going to be so fun. You're going to love her. You're going to see how real and authentic she is, and hopefully we're going to have a good enough conversation where you're going to really catch a glimpse of why people that know her love her so much and how much she has meant to so many people. So I'm excited about that. I got something in my eye, so I have to apologize off the bat that I'm going to be rubbing my eye a lot today. So let's just wait to get Kyle on here. Welcome, Dylan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's going to be a fun day. I can already feel it. Feel like my hair's doing pretty good. Skin's, could be better, but trying. I'm a picker, guys. I'm an absolute picker. And I don't know what to do about it, to be honest. Yeah. I think the beard's getting a little crazy. But, hey, it is what it is. So, you're fine. Thank you, Dylan. Listen, coming from a handsome guy like you, I'll take it. I will take it. Hey, Ben Mervis. Ben Mervis, is that really it? Kyle has joined the building. Well, I don't know where she is. Here we go, everyone. Here we go. Let's see is it happening? It's connecting.
Okay, I gotta fix my seat. Okay. Hold on. Hold on.
I see half your
I'm having
face.
problems. Okay, hold on. No, 1 minute. Hold on a minute
Okay,
here.
you've been doing these like 1,000 times a day. How are you having problems?
Well, I came down to my house in La Quinta and I'm heading back to LA today, so I'm hi.
Hi.
I've got like situations happening here. Is that better? Can you see me now?
I can see you. This is
Okay.
perfect.
Yay.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's been forever.
I know. How are you surviving the quarantine?
I'm surviving. It's a little crazy, as you know. I mean, none of us are used to this. We don't really know what the heck to do. You've been busy. I've seen you on 1,452 Instagram lives. So
I never knew that my life would be like, doing Zooms and Instagram live as press instead of flying to New York back and forth. So so many people saying hi. I feel bad. Hi guys. Hi everybody. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, but I'm surviving. I'm surviving here. My kids, thank God we have all under one roof, so it makes me feel safe and secure.
yeah, it's funny. I'm trying to every single day just kind of go, we're freaking blessed. Like there's so many people out there that do not have the homes that we have, the lifestyles we have, the opportunities, even the family that we have. And so I'm just every day trying to stay grateful and in that place of gratitude because it's tough.
Well, I think it would be really hard to be like I love New York City with a passion. It would be
Yep.
really hard living in like a high-rise an apartment or something and not, having that outdoor lifestyle that we have here in California. So I'm grateful for that. I mean, my husband's been doing the marketing, which is like a new thing, obviously. And yesterday was my very first time going out into the wild, and I had to go to the pet store and the market. My anxiety was like through the roof. I had sunglasses to protect my eyes because God forbid, that I get get anything in my eye. So my two masks, sunglasses, a hat, I had gloves. I mean, I look like a burglar. Everyone looks like a burglar. It's very unsettling.
It is. Listen, my mom's in La Quinta. That's where she's deciding to quarantine, right by you. And she went to Jensen's grocery store instead of that Ralph's that's right there.
Right. Yeah, I went to Ralph's.
She decided to go to Jensen's, and she said, "There's no one in there. No one in
Okay,
there."
well, that's good to know.
They're spraying down every cart before you get in there, like for each person. And like she said, it's a much easier kind of place to.
Well, the thing is, I haven't been driving
Oh,
anywhere. So I love to drive, as a mom of four. And, I don't have alone time ever. So, I mean, when you have a baby at 19 years old, your mom at 19, like I never had alone time. So
Yeah.
sometimes my driving, you know, like on the way back from taking Portia to school or whatever, just in the car is my only alone time. I really like driving, but I
Yeah.
just have had nowhere to go for so long. I was like, okay, I don't want to drive too far. Everything feels so weird, you know? So
Totally. Well,
yeah.
and the thing my mom said, she had to go back to LA to check on her house. She's like, I haven't been there in a month and a half. And she said the drive was like, 2 hours.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
like,
It's so fast.
she's
That's why I
like,
was
this
like, I
is the
might as
way
well
it
come down.
should be.
I know. It reminds me of like growing up, we didn't have as much traffic like that. So here in LA, but now it's like, oh, this is taking me back to my growing up days with the freeways were quieter and all of that. So
Palm Desert's a really special place too. I
it's
mean,
beautiful.
it's just I get off, at to go to our house on Jefferson, and the second I get off on there, it's just like everything just calms in me. Like,
As soon as I hit the windmills, I just feel a shift in energy and just it's like, I don't know, it's just very common for me. And it's our second home here, and I really love it, and I'm grateful to have this little. We haven't been here a ton, but and it's kind of hot now, so my big girls and the rest of the gang are at our house in LA, so I'm heading back there. But
by
anyway,
the you posted a picture of Portia, by the way, the other day, and everything in me, I like started crying because for the first time, I really saw her as like a young lady.
it's crazy. I know she's 12, and I see these like, throwbacks of the Real Housewives, and she was in a crib. I mean, she had
Yeah.
her second birthday party on the Housewives. So, um, it's really crazy to think that we're still here. I
It's
can't believe it. 10 years on the show is so ridiculous, crazy.
Kyle, I remember after the first season, you and I, we were at Faye's house and we were talking about it. And it was like, how much longer could I do this? And it was like, how much longer could you do this? I mean, like, right? It's just,
Originally, I thought I'd be out after 5 years. First of all, I thought we were doing this one season. I didn't know it was going to be a hit or a success.
yeah.
And then when it became a hit, I was like, okay, of course we all have quit a million times, but I thought, okay, I'll hang in there maybe five years. That's what I'll do. And now here I am for 10 years. And now it's just, sometimes it's honestly too much though. It's like, I've been feeling really calm. For someone who suffers from anxiety, I've been abnormally calm for myself during this whole quarantine. And I know it's because I have my husband and my children all under one roof and my dog. So I feel safe and I have to do whatever I can for my mental health. And that's what keeps me feeling healthy and safe and sane. And then the show airs and it's like through the roof again. I'm like, it's too much sometimes.
I don't know how you do it. Listen, I from season one, I was telling you, don't do it again. Don't do it again. Cause I don't know. I mean, people obviously love and adore you and they should. And, really the whole
Thank
reason for
you.
this interview is just to celebrate you and celebrate the beautiful person that you are and not talk about, a lot of the BS that's going on. But, it's hard for me to be watching this, seeing people I love being pounced on and being yelled at and it's just what people don't realize. And I get this question all the time. Is it real? And I'm like,
It's
oh,
real.
it's real. I mean,
It's
these
real.
are relationships that really happen and it's not fun.
I mean, it's, obviously there's going to be moments where we all say and do things we regret. This is not Little House on the Prairie. It's the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And yes, there's always going to be those moments. But what's frustrating is there's certain things you sometimes can't explain, like to the audience. And I was saying, like, we've broken what we call the fourth wall this season. When Denise said the bravo, bravo, bravo thing because she didn't want to talk
Yeah.
about something, which is coming up. It's going to be shown. People thought, why was it missing from Wednesday night's episode? But it's stay tuned is all I'm going to say. It's coming. So anyway, there's certain things you just can't explain, because of we don't acknowledge that, when we're on the show and talking that there's cameras and, audio all around us.
Yeah.
So we don't acknowledge that we're on a show when we're shooting. So there's certain things you just can't explain. So like with like the Dorit thing, life, like, do you get upset when like your friend comes late because she wants to have her hair and makeup done? No. But it's like, we all have made a commitment to
Yeah.
the show. And I had to fly in from North Carolina, you know, to be there. And they're like, you know, you have like a call time, you know, and, you know,
Yeah.
a car's picking up at 5 a.m. and then you're driving out and you're getting in a car with Erica. And so, you know, usually we have the same thing, you know, to call time, all of us. So I'm like, why, wait, why is she coming late? Do the hair and makeup? But you can't say like, why are you coming at 1 and we had to be there at 5 because you're doing, so it's like all that kind of stuff. So people are like, why did you care? I'm like, that's basically what it is. And, you know, all these years, it's just never worked like that. So it
Yeah.
was just odd to me. But, you know, I adore Dorit, and I don't like when we have these arguments. And then the worst part is all of a sudden everybody chiming in. And like, I could have handled it just us talking. But then another one coming, another one coming. And then some people at the table who had agreed with me weren't speaking up at the table. And I didn't want to like out people. So then I felt like frustration from being so
Yeah.
tired, and just like I was exhausted as it was, and I had told, you know, production, I'm exhausted, I can't even function right now. And I was like, I can't handle everyone coming at me. I just can't. And you know, those
Not
days
many
I'm like,
people could. Like, you know, and I
I'm
think that's the hard part is like, you know, again, you are friends with these people. Like, sure, you know, you're not best friends with Sutton. You know, you probably just met Sutton and whatever, but
who
you
I
know,
adore, and I've become good friends with her, and I really like her a lot, by the way.
I adore her, but you know, but like Lisa Rinna, she is a good friend of yours. You guys have
Yeah.
gone through a lot of crap,
Yeah.
even off camera. Like,
I know, and I was thinking, why are you doing that? Like, I don't understand this. It doesn't even make sense to me. And and the people who weren't speaking up, I was like, why are you not only not speaking up, but you're like joining in on this whole like coming at me thing? It was so frustrating, and I was just like, and those times like that, I just feel like I can't. It doesn't feel worth it to me. You know, I'm like, I just
I
can't
will
do
say
this.
this: the one thing that I always will wish for is one day when I am wealthy enough, I will always have a producer with me when you're in a fight with a friend or something, and they can show you like behind the scenes of like what they said. Like, you know, like I kind of love that. Like when you were talking to Lisa Rinna and you were like protecting her, they showed like the time when you guys were all in Amsterdam or whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I wish you had that moment right
Oh
now.
yeah, the
And now look
flashback.
to the screen, Rinna. Look at what happened. You know, like I
I
kind of
know.
wish we could have that.
I know. Well, sometimes they work in your favor and sometimes not.
True. True.
Well,
Well, the
like
ones
that
that
night I
don't
was in
work
the
in your
bathroom and
favor,
I was
you're
like,
paying
I
the bill.
hate everybody right now. Of course, I don't hate everybody. I actually love all of those women. But I mean, there's days you just feel like I hate everything. That's how I was feeling.
Yeah. Well, and listen, one of the reasons that I wanted to have you on here was to really celebrate the woman that you are. And one of the things that's really bothering me about this season is that comment, which I think bothered you, of, you know, I have a life, Kyle. And I'm
Yeah,
like, wait a second.
that's
Wait a
what set
damn
me off.
second.
I was joking. I was like, to be honest, it was like a teasing, but like we tease each other. I mean,
Yeah.
I was annoyed because I was like, Eric and I were in the car going, why were we leaving at 5 a.m.? I don't get this. So I was like teasing, but also like annoyed too. But then when she said, I have a life, I was like, you can't not say you came late because you have a life when you're sitting in a makeup chair and having your hair and makeup done. Like, I'm shooting a movie. I flew back from North Carolina to do this and trying to do my clothing line in New York. I was literally like New York, LA, North Carolina, New York, LA, North Carolina. And I was like, you did not just say that to me. I also have 4 kids, a husband, 6 dogs. Like, we all have lives. You can't say that to us, anybody in the group. We all have, you know, a lot going on.
Well, yeah, not
So,
minimizing her life, but at the same time, like when
right.
she said that, I was like, do people not realize what Kyle kind of does on a daily basis? Like entrepreneur, wife, mother, you know, everything you do is just, it's every day for you. It's not like, oh, I can do this Mondays and Wednesdays. No, you're a mother every single day. You're an
Well, yeah,
entrepreneur
and by the
every day.
way, you know,
You're acting.
driving my little one to school, she's my last child. It's my favorite time with her because, you know, they have her at school all day. It's so annoying. I drop her off early in the morning and I don't pick her up till 3:30, so she's there all day. So my time driving with her, that's the only reason I can handle traffic in LA, is because it gives me extra time with her in the morning. I really like love and adore those moments with her. And the fact that I had been away and came back to work and I couldn't even take my daughter to school in the morning, I was like a little resentful that I, you know, had to be there at 5 a.m. I couldn't take my child to school. So there was so much other stuff involved, you know.
Yeah.
But with that said, it could have just been some small things become big, you know, in these scenarios because everyone has to jump in and have an opinion. I was like, if everyone just stayed out of it, we could have worked through it because I mean, I care about Dorit. I think she cares about me, and we would have been fine. But anyway,
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about this real quick because it's one of my favorite things about you. So you are someone like we have so many people in common in our lives, right? Like
We do.
we have a. I mean, it's actually kind of funny. The first white party I went to for Moe's, I think it was his 40th. Was that 10 years ago? So
Would that have been on the show?
first season.
Probably. Well, no, because we went on to, he's 49. So I don't know. Oh, maybe she probably came to, I don't know when that was.
Whatever. But
Yeah.
so I show up and you're like, oh, let me introduce you to Mo's mom and dad. And you're like, oh, Martha. And she's like, Marquito, of course I know Marquito. He's like family. He's like Marquito, you know. And I was like,
Yeah.
wait, what? And, you know, Mo's a Mexican Jew. I'm a Mexican Jew. And somehow we have similar cousins and aunts and uncles and everything. And I did.
So, well, if you're Mexican and Jewish, like we're most likely related.
Yeah, exactly.
I found that out, after I married my husband.
Well, but so what I was going to say is that one of my favorite things about you is that in every, like the amount of people that we know that we both know are from all different parts of life. And yet you are, and I want to celebrate you for this, the same person to every single person. It doesn't matter how much they make. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't, I mean, like I have seen you with people that are, you know, your housekeepers and your whatever, and you treat everyone with this level of kindness that is so beautiful, and it's
Thank you.
definitely not celebrated enough on the show, and I don't understand it. Like I
Well,
want
that's boring,
I know.
I guess that's boring. So, oh, hi, TV Deets.
But I
Um,
kind of wish they would celebrate that a little bit more, and I kind of wish that, like, I mean, even in reading your book, like it's something that is so beautiful about you that is needed so much in this world today. Like
well, thank you.
you literally treat every person as though they are a best friend or someone that is just special and cherished in your life. Has that always been the case? Did the show make you more that way? Did like
No, my mom, we just raised like that. You treat everyone the same equally. It's so funny. I was actually just, I mean, that's the way it should be. We're all, brothers and sisters at the end of the day. So
yeah.
I was seeing this interview with on Watch What Happens Live, Lena Dunham, saying that she had met me at Neiman Marcus when she was 17. I didn't even know. That's the first time I heard it. And she was only 17, so she wasn't like famous yet. And she said that I was helping her for 45 minutes looking for shoes. And I was like calling, trying to find another shoe store for her, saying, I don't think this is the right shoe store for you here. And I was laughing to myself. It's so funny that I never knew that I had met her. And I'm like, and that my friends were like, that would be you talking to her for 45 minutes in the shoe department.
100% would be you. Like I think it's one of the things I love most about you. Like it doesn't matter
Well,
who you
thank
are.
you.
If
Thank
you
you.
like people ask me all the time, like, you know, ask me about you because they know I know you and I love you and all that. And it's always that's the first thing I always say about you is that it doesn't matter who you are, she's going to treat you with the same love and respect that she would treat anyone,
Well,
which is
thank you.
awesome.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I see that the crazy part about it is that I see it in every single one of your daughters.
My girls are, I mean, I'm so proud of them. They're such great girls, and spending this time with them in the quarantine, I so appreciate because they're, three of them are adults, and it's time, I know I'm not going to get back because Farrah's 31.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to me. Alexa's 23, Sophia's 20, Portia just turned 12. And
Like, didn't we just have her her bat mitzvah? Like, didn't that just happen?
Sophia, I know, right? And she's 20 now. So,
Oh my
um,
gosh.
so we're all outside. We're literally painting together. I'm not painting because I'm the worst. I'm the worst. I cannot paint to save my life. But they're all painting. I'm sitting with them and, doing puzzles, and we're laughing and we're doing our TikToks. And I'm like, they're just such great girls. They're so together. They're so just smart, and I admire them so much. They're just such a better version of I could ever be. So I'm very proud
Well,
of them.
that's
They
not
teach
true.
me a lot.
They are amazing. I mean, listen, Farrah, and this is the thing that I don't know if people really know. Your children are uber successful, and yes, you've given your children as much of the world as you possibly could, but not unearned. I mean, those girls
Well,
really have earned what they're getting even today.
well, like with my daughter Farah, she was always an overachiever. I remember when she was in first grade, she went to the Lycée Français, and the French school, and they used to grade them, like A, B, like that kind of grading, which in normal schools, they don't really do that. They'll
Yeah.
be like, passed or, average or whatever it is.
Satisfactory.
Yeah, exact satisfactory, whatever. Yeah, thank you. And she was sobbing, crying when I picked her up. And I said, what happened? And she said she got an A minus. And I was like, that's amazing. She's like, it wasn't an A. And she's always had that mentality. She works so hard at her schoolwork. She graduated magna cum laude from USC, and she went to NYU, super smart. And people like, she'll get a lot of, oh, because of your parents. No, she was actually from the ground up when we started the agency. She started as my husband's assistant. And, she's a founding member of the agency. And she works harder than I can't even tell you. Like, when we're on vacation, I never see her away from her computer and laptop. She's nonstop. And probably the best compliment I can ever get is when people come up to me and say, oh, I just want you to know that your daughter sold us, our home, or she helped with this. And we've never been so impressed by anybody. I mean, that's like the best compliment I can ever get as a mom. So I'm very proud of her.
Well, and listen, the one thing that no one would ever be able to call you is an absent mom, because you've been a part of every single step of those girls' lives. I mean, you have really done an amazing job of creating this example of what it looks like to be a true independent woman. I mean, your husband, I hope this comes out right, but your husband does very well for himself. You do not necessarily need to work,
No.
And he wouldn't mind taking care of you that way, because
No, I mean, he
always,
says, like, when I say I just can't do this anymore, like, there's many times I feel like I can't do the show anymore. It's too much emotionally and psychologically. And he's like, don't do it. Like he always supports that, but
but you do it. You continue to do it, and you continue to do things that I'm like, of course she's doing a whole new line of clothing. Like, why wouldn't she? Of course she is.
When I first started, I quit acting, obviously, when I had Farah, and I'd been acting since I was a baby, and then I stopped when I had Farah. And then as I had more of my kids, I would put my foot in the door. Like when I had Sophia, went back to work when she was 2 weeks old. I was still breastfeeding on the set of ER. So then I would just keeping my foot in the door. But then when I started doing the Housewives, I had all this mom guilt, and then someone said to me, a mom at school is like, why do you feel guilty? Don't you want to be an example to your kids of a woman who's working? And I didn't have that mentality. I had the old fashioned mentality, like I'm only supposed to be home and, doing the homework, them, picking them at school and this and that and cooking and whatever. And I was like, hey, yeah, I mean, hello, this is a new age. I do want to be that example. So, and I see it, and they see it, how hard I work. And Portia will say to me, Mom, you work so hard. I'm so proud of you. And she wrote this thing about it at school, which blew me away. And I was like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. I'm finding the balance, which is good, to be able to be there for them and still, fulfill my dreams, and try to be a good example.
And, and I listen, not that my word or my affirmation is much, but I will tell you that it's a beautiful example of what it looks like to be a mother and to be someone who knows that balance, because I think balance is important. I mean, I have absolutely nothing wrong with a mother who decides to be a full-time stay-at-home mom.
Oh, let me tell you something. To the full time stay-at-home moms, and I know people say this, and I cannot say it enough. That is hands down the hardest job there is. When I would go to work, I remember when, after I stopped breastfeeding Sophia, I breastfed all my kids till they were a year old. So after a year, I was like, when I would go to work and I would leave for the day, I was like, this is a vacation. It's a vacation going to work. I was like, oh, I'm going to work. I'm around adults talking, having lunch breaks, getting my coffee. No, I mean, it's seriously, and it's, nobody thanks you. Nobody thanks you. And it's it seriously is. And my friends say, well, I know you're working now. So I'm like, no, don't get it twisted. When I wasn't working, I was working the hardest I've ever worked in my life, running my home and taking care of my kids and everything nonstop. I was exhausted, and so I just have to say that and give props to the moms that stay home.
Well, and listen, I think the other thing that
And dads.
What?
And dads.
And dads. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
there's a lot of stay-at-home dads, and
Yeah.
I mean, gosh,
Some of the
it's
best parents I've seen are stay-at-home dads. So
yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, I'm here in Scottsdale right now, helping a friend out with their three kids, and kind of being a manny for a little bit, and helping cook and be with the kids. And I'm doing it very, very part time, but dear gosh, it's a lot of freaking work. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm like, where's my bed and where's
it's
the
not for
zebra?
everyone. It's not for everyone. I used to think it was for everyone. Everyone had to have a baby. I always felt like that. Oh, you have to have a baby. I realize now it really is not for everyone. And there's some people, I have friends who struggled with infertility. And I'm like, listen, that's okay. There's an amazing life. I love my life. I'm so grateful that I have four children, but there's an amazing life you have without children too. I mean,
Yeah.
even people, they don't want a dog. I don't know how to help you because that I don't understand. Because I like, I don't know. I couldn't live without my dogs or my children. But there's a great life separate from all of that too. And I didn't used to like get that when I was younger, but now I really do see that. And so, yeah.
Well, it's just so funny though. I will say, when you got the last dog, the German Shepherd, I was like, Kyle, this has to stop. Like,
I know.
like not only did you get another dog, he's going to be massive. Like,
She's going to
or
be
he.
massive. I didn't intend to get another dog. I have a lot of relationships with rescue centers, and they'll reach out to me, and I follow. I mean, I follow so many things on Instagram that are all animal related. If you have a dog that has a page, I follow it. I follow dogs, cats, birds. I follow rescue centers. So people are always reaching out to me. That there's this rescue that they found, or this dog needs a foster family. So my friend Jen, who is one of my best friends, and she's one of Teddy's all-in coaches, she's like, there's this puppy that's being fostered by a friend of Teddy's who happens to live down the street from us because my friend Jen is my neighbor. And I was in Aspen, and I said, oh my gosh, they're like, they can't keep it. They're just fostering it. So I was like, let me look. And I was like, oh, okay. I said to my daughter, go pick up the puppy. We can keep it. We have the space, and we'll find a home for it. And I showed my husband, and I knew I was never going to be able to part with the dog. And then my husband's like, you're not giving that dog away. Don't even try to pretend. I was like, what? You want to keep it? Okay.
What?
So
I
now I
had no
have
idea.
another dog.
Six dogs, right?
I really wish I could live. My ideal dream is to live on like a ranch. And like I look at when I see Yolanda Foster, I'm sorry, Yolanda
No,
Hadid.
Hadid.
Second time I make that mistake. When I see Yolanda's page and how she lives her life, like that's a dream to me to like, wake up and with the
Talk
animals.
about a
like,
housewife that like left the way that I mean, from Malibu to this beautiful sprawling estate that just has horses and
I know.
all.
She has the best of both worlds. She can be in the city, and have fun, and her daughters and her kids are there and all that. But yeah, I would love that. If I could live on a ranch with animals, I would totally
She's
do
gonna
that.
be a
I
grandma.
may do that one day.
Yolanda's gonna be a grandma soon.
I know. So exciting. I
So
mean, all
excited.
these gorgeous grandmothers. Yolanda's a grandmother. Garcelle just had a baby. My sister Kathy, Kim, they're grandmothers. So when I see them, like, oh my God, they're
I have to
so
say this:
beautiful.
when Kim became a grandmother,
Even
just
hearing
to
you say
see,
that just is so crazy to me.
but to see her face, like when she became a grandmother, was one of the most beautiful moments for me. Like, just to see how that could truly change a person's perspective, day, moment. Like, it was one of the most beautiful. I love seeing Kim as a grandmother.
I know, and her grandsons are so beautiful, and her daughter Brooke is such an amazing mom. I mean, unbelievable mommy. I'll FaceTime with them, and I just think poor Brooke. She's got two toddler boys, and she's trying to talk to me. The phone's flying, dropping. There are literally like Legos flying across the screen, screaming, throwing things. Like I'm, she's not left her house because she's scared to go outside at all. So she'll just like literally in her backyard for a minute, but she's not left, even gone on a walk because she's afraid. And I'm like, oh my God, with two little babies like that, that's hard. That's
No,
hard.
it's impossible. Now, is Kim able to see the grandkids, or are they social distancing? Is
You
she
know,
with them?
As of last week, I think they had not yet. They were just FaceTiming because they were nervous and, all that. So I'm
Yep.
sure, I think now things are starting to get where people will social distance and like, in La Quinta, we went to visit a neighbor yesterday, our friends, and they've been quarantined for 2 months. So we just social distance and they have like an outdoor like bar area. And I was like, but I'm still like, hi, don't even come close to me.
Well, it's funny. I was talking to Faye, and Faye, is a germaphobe. She just does not like germs. And she, I had told her that I was, driving. I'm going to be driving to Dallas next to help some friends out there. And she's like, get a spray bottle of alcohol and spray everything, and don't ever worry about spraying too much. And she's like, go get it now. Are you getting it? Are you going to get? I was like, I got it, Faye.
You need a space diaper because you're not gonna want to be stopping in any gas station.
I'm not gonna be drinking or eating at all during that drive.
Well, that's why I said driving to the desert. I was like, you guys, anybody has to go to the bathroom? Don't drink any water. I am not stopping anywhere, and we're not guys who can just pull over to the side of the road. We're not going into any bathrooms. So,
by the way, I am a guy.
Dehydrate yourself. Dehydrate yourself.
Dehydrate completely. So wait,
Exactly.
you're going back to LA, or you're going back to LA?
Yeah, I'm going back now because my big girls are like too hot. We're heading back to LA. So heading back now.
It's a really tough place to have to be. I'm so sorry.
Listen, I'm not complaining. I'm very
I don't know if
grateful.
I'll get my mom back, to be honest. She's loving living there. She's like,
I'm loving a quieter life. I will say that.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. Well, hey, listen, first of all, I publicly thank you so much for doing this. Like, I mean, who the heck am I? You've been in my life.
I adore you, Mark, and I heard that your cabaret was amazing. Faye told me it was.
I was so bummed you couldn't come.
I know. Well, when we're filming, there's always like we can never do anything. I miss a lot of things because of that, but. She told me it was absolutely amazing and she was blown away by you. And it's so fun to see you doing that. So
it was funny because Faye, she says it exactly as it is. And she was like, I was kind of ready to just be embarrassed for you. And she's like, no,
of course,
really
Faye.
good. I was like, well, thanks. I'm glad I didn't embarrass you.
Well, Lona says hi to some people before we say goodbye. Oh, look, Halloween fan official. Hi. Cheetah. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm looking at these. Thank you, guys. I hope you guys are all staying safe in quarantine. Joe loves horror. Can't wait to see Halloween. I love all these. The Halloween fans are very passionate. Let me tell you. Housewives fans are passionate. The Halloween fans are really passionate too.
I'm sorry, I can't watch Halloween. I'm too scared.
You have to because I'm in it. So you're gonna have to see this one. I don't want to hear any lip from you. Okay.
Okay. I'll watch it, but I'm gonna have to be like this the whole time.
It's scary.
Get so scared.
It's really scary. I'm not gonna lie. It was scary actually filming it. So,
I
mean,
gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. See,
yeah.
Seeing
Michael Myers lurking in the shadows in the middle of like a black forest. It was like, I mean, and it traumatized me even as a kid, and now I hear him back doing it. So I must have some issues anyway.
Well, let me say this. I always end these with just telling the person why I love them so much. And so I'm going to just take a second to tell you why I love you. So sit back and absorb this because you deserve it.
I'm getting embarrassed.
You're going to be so embarrassed. So one of the things I love most about you is your absolute authenticity and kindness. You are one of the most kind people I know. It really is a beautiful thing to see that so many of the characteristics you have are truly changing people's lives because they can see something that they think they know you, they think they see, whatever's on the front. But when people truly get to know you, you change their lives because
that's so sweet.
You see people. I remember the movie Avatar. One of the greatest lines I thought was she said, I see you. And that's who you are. You see people and you see them for exactly who they are. And I just have been so blessed and so honored to call you a friend, family, just be a part of your life. And I'm just very, very grateful that you are someone that I don't get to see often. We don't speak that often, but you're someone that I can always pick up exactly where I left off. And I know that you're someone that if I needed you, you'd be there in a second.
Well, so thank you. That's very sweet. Thank you so much. I know you appreciate that. It's so embarrassing, but thank you so much. I adore you, and everyone chiming in here and saying hello. Brad and Michael. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. Mark, thank you. Have the best day. Everybody, stay safe. And tune in
Thank
to
you
The
so
Real
much.
Houses of Beverly Hills on Wednesdays.
And I gotta tell you, I got you back. So if anyone needs to give you crap, I mean, I'm on the 5th video of Tybo. I know how to do things.
Okay, yeah, we'll get on Twitter. They're the mean ones.
Oh my gosh, what is wrong with people? Dang it.
Take
Well,
care.
I'll
See you
defend you.
later.
Bye, Kyle. Love you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.